Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Blackburn Rovers in League 1, because they've been promoted, they've been relegated. You know the story. We're in 2021. We are 5. This is the 5th season. Jeez, how are we in the 5th season? Anyway, we're in the 5th season. We're in charge of Blackburn. Since the last episode, we've played a whole number of games. Before we get into them, I've got some more transfers to talk about. And this is the main one. Joe Rankin Costello has been sold from under us. Basically, the board accepted an offer. It was £17 million in total, which it actually, for a League One footballer, which he is. I mean, he's good enough for the Championship, but he's a League One footballer. That's a decent amount of money. He's gone off to Wolves. I'm not really sure about the entire transfer, because it's something like 14 up front. Yeah, 13.75, potentially rising to 17 million, but that's a huge amount of money for him. And because he is gone, we've had to bring in some more players. Connor Mahoney has rejoined the club. I believe he used to be here a while ago. Very long time ago. Not that long. 2017, he was at Blackburn. He's at Bournemouth in real life at the moment. He's joined on a free transfer. He's basically going to be our right winger now because Rankin Costello's left. Then on transfer deadline day, I went a bit nuts and spent quite a bit of money that I probably shouldn't have spent. Jonathan Dinzey has joined from Newcastle. He's cost about £150,000. He's a decent looking player, but he's not as good as I'd hoped he'd be. And a player that I may have shown you before, I'm not quite sure, Bellarmino Figueira. I have no idea how to say his name. Angolan striker. He's come in, doesn't have a work permit, immediately gone out on loan to TP Mazembe in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's come in for quite a hefty fee of 425k. And another player to come in on deadline day, and this was a panic buy. I have to admit, this was a massive panic buy. Martin Gracia has joined 22-year-old Czech striker for £1 million. I don't know why I spent that much money on him. Considering this guy has played a total of 6 games his entire career, and that was back in 2016. He's been on loan to a couple of clubs. He's played for Fiorentina for that time. Never kicked a ball for them. He's gone to League One in England for £1 million. I'm hoping he actually starts scoring some goals. And the return of Russell Kingdon. He's back. He is on loan. He's apparently not very good. I don't care. I like Russell Kingdon. He scored 39 goals in 65 games for us when we were at Poole Town. He's in on loan for the season as a backup. I don't know when his contract runs out. Hopefully, it's actually at the end of the season, and I might try and poach him. So that is all the transfers. There's a couple other outs. That Figueroa has gone to TP Mazembe, as I said before. Olafunwa has gone to Carlisle on loan for the season as well. So in total, we've brought in £25 million, most of it from Rankin Costello, and there was obviously Akpom got a decent amount of money. A few other players as well picked up a couple of £1 million here and there. Trevor Mills was another one who picked up £5 million, spending £1.8 million. Finance-wise, we've still got a fairly decent transfer budget to go. The window's shut. We can push it up to £3 million if we really need to. I don't think we need to. Let's go back to the board. Lots of things going on. Rayo hasn't left, so the Venkis are still in charge, but he does want to leave. Basically, a lot of the takeover stuff that might be happening is all internal. So it's not going to be like, oh, here's a whole load of money. It's just, here's a new chairman. We're almost ready to play some games, but first let's go through some of the previous results. Last episode was the Rotherham game, I believe, which was a 3-1 victory. We then went and played Ipswich in the league, a 0-0 draw. Wasn't that exciting, as you can tell. It was a 0-0 draw. Carabao Cup up next. This was exciting. 4-3 victory. An extra time winner from Niall Ennis gets us through into the third round of the Cup against Watford is our team. Humam Tariq, Hamza Chowdhury and Niall Ennis with the goals for us. Yeardom, Steve Simpson with an own goal. And Liberal Goulart with a goal for Barnsley as well. Then a game where we just didn't bother turning up for, a 3-1 defeat against Cambridge. Connor Mahoney gets the goal for us. Jordan Rhodes, Donovan Daniels and Obi Ular with the goals. Basically, the match was over at half-time. We were 3-1 down. The second half was pointless. And then in the Checker Trade Trophy that no one cares about, we destroyed Liverpool under-23s, because let's face it, Liverpool under-23s are a pointless side because they just buy Southampton players. We beat them 4-1. Conor Mahoney with a goal after 3 minutes. Niall Ennis gets 2 as well, 1 from the spot. And Tariq gets the 4th for us after 36 minutes. Charlie Scott on 72 for Liverpool under-23s, but that's a decent win. But it is in the Checker Trade Trophy, which no one cares about. And finally, in the league against Peterborough, a 1-1 draw. Tariq with a goal for us and a 90th minute equaliser for Peterborough by Chris Willock means it's a 1-1 draw. It does leave us sat 12th in the table, but I'm not too disappointed right now. We've lost a game. We're drawing too many, which sounds very familiar for me, but we've only lost 1 game. Hopefully, Conor Mahoney can replace Rankin Costello quite nicely, will be helpful. And we win 2 games today. And those 2 games are going to be Oxford and Walsall. Walsall sat in 13th place, Oxford sat in 7th, so not going to be the easiest games, but we are at home. Another transfer's just happened. Adam Hassan, who was a player we brought in the summer, he's gone out on loan to Aldershot for the season. Walsall time. We've played them a total of 6 times. We've beaten them thrice, they've beaten us twice, and we've drawn once. I did not think I'd be saying the word thrice today. The starting lineup then that we are going to go for is as follows. In goal, young Northern Irish goalkeeper Johnny Davison. Back 4 of Steve Simpson on the right, Alfie Jones, Panzo in the middle, Nedyalkov on the left. That's still a difficult name to say. Midfield trio, Bradley Dack, David Kovacic and Hamza Chowdhury as the 3 central midfielders. Conor Mahoney on the right, Tariq on the left and Niall Ennis as the striker, who's got 10 goals already this season, which is an insane amount of money, which is why I'm questioning why I decided to spend £1 million on another striker. We are starting to get to that point now in the game where there are going to be a lot more new gens coming through. Obviously, we've got 2 playing for us. There's a couple on the bench as well. I think there's 3 playing for Walsall, which is always good. Worrying thing is, I don't know how good these regens are going to be. They could be amazing. They could be terrible. I don't know. I think this is possibly one of the first home games, or the first home game that you're actually going to see in this save with Blackburn Rovers, because I think the Rotherham game was away. 20 minutes in, it is fairly even, no highlights. We're getting a lot of possession, which is weird because with this formation, we don't get possession normally. First highlight of the game, Bradley Dack doesn't quite get there. Boateng for Walsall to Bentley with a lovely bandage on his head. Plays it out to Rowe. Rowe's taken on his man, made some space. Ball through, Bentley's going to get there. Goalkeeper didn't come for it, he's hit it just wide. That is lucky. Keeper should have come out for that one. Another highlight, Davison with the goal kick long towards Niall Ennis. He's the only striker which does sometimes cause problems. Drinan to Headley. Headley's ball over the top. Panzo's going to get there. This is worrying. This is very worrying. Just smash it clear. He does. And it's not very far though. Boateng across to Rowe. So far we've had no highlights and it's all looking Walsall's way. Header from Journeyman. It's a penalty? He pushed a player who didn't even get the ball. Drinan with the penalty, not Journeyman. I have no idea who Journeyman is. Go on, Davison. Do it. Do it for me. Fine. Screw you, Davison. Another highlight just before half-time. Ennis, the lone striker who seems to be playing in the left-back position, plays it all the way back to not even the goalkeeper. Oh, this is going to be an awful goal, isn't it? Because he's not going to kick it far enough and they're going to score. Just smash it off the pitch. Do something with it. Oh, no. Bentley gets it. Okay, right. Bentley to Drinan in the middle, the goal scorer, the penalty taker. He's had a go from outside the area. It's just wide. So far, we've had 0 highlights for us, and I'm concerned. And it is half-time, and so far, we've had 7 shots and 2 on target, but neither of them were apparently good enough to be shown. Right, let's just keep going, but let's do that. Demand more from them, because they're not doing very well. Christensen in goal for Walsall. Kicks it long from his goal kick. Glover does get there. Drinan's got Bentley in front of him, who's still got his bandage on. Simpson with a tackle. Bradley Dack kicks it long upfield, and this is where Niall Ennis uses his pace. That is a wonderful tackle, and Christensen makes a television save, which he really didn't need to do. I don't think this highlight is over. Kicks it long by Christensen. Rowe doesn't quite win the header. Mahoney doesn't get there though. Bradley Dack doesn't get there. Simpson kicks it long. Ennis is running onto it, and this has to be a goal from Niall Ennis. It is Niall Ennis. His 11th of the season. I don't know how many he's got in the league, but he's scored a lot of goals. I think most of them actually were probably in the old Carabao Cup and the Checker Trade Trophy. But still, We're winning. We're not winning, it's 1-1. Learn to count. Because Ennis has scored, the chances of us seeing Russell Kingdon or Gracia is very slim now, because he's basically my best player on the pitch. I'm going to demand more again, because that seemed to work. Let's try it. Davison with the free kick, close to his own corner flag. Ennis doesn't win the header. Drinan does get the ball across to Glover. Glover's being closed down, but he's making a little run. Chowdhury with a tackle. Nedelkov. Kovacic. Probably not his name. Tariq. Chowdhury. Kovacic? It is Kovacic. I got it right. Dak. Steve Simpson. Connor Mahoney. First time we've seen him on the ball all game. Kovacic again. Ball over the top. Tariq gets it in the area. Crosses it. Mahoney's at the back post. It is 2-1. And those three strikers, or not strikers, wingers, whatever they are, those three, the front three, get involved in lots of goals, and I love it. I'm going to demand more again. I should probably do some subs as there's 10 minutes to go. There's now less than 10 minutes to go. Ennis is coming off. I'm going to bring on Russell Kingdon. Let's do it. Let's give Russell Kingdon his return. I have to be his favoured personnel, surely. What else do I want to do? Hesketh can come on for Mahoney. Hesketh can't play on the wing, but I feel like it doesn't really matter. 5 minutes of injury time, and we've just entered it. I don't think there's going to be any highlights, although the game has just slowed down to a crawl. There is a highlight. Davison with the goal kick towards Hesketh. Hesketh wins a header. Russell Kingdon with his lovely haircut, despite the fact he's bald. He's had a terrible effort. Christensen with a save. But we've seen Russell Kingdon once again. I didn't think he'd come back. To me, anyway. He wouldn't come back to Poole. Dak. Simpson across to Chowdhury. Edge of the area. Have a go, son. He's tried to play it through. It's cleared by the Walsall players. Do not be a highlight. Ashley Seal to Drinan. Drinan's got lots of options in the middle. He crosses it in. They've had a go and they've put it in the back of the net. And what is it with this game and conceding late goals? That is the 94th minute and we've conceded again. Final highlight of the game. Simpson gets the ball. He's had a shot from there. Not sure why he went for a shot. We're going to draw with Walsall. We're going to draw purely because I don't know, should I have gone defensive near the end of the game? Is that something I should have done? Because I stopped doing that because it didn't seem to make any difference. Nedelkov, ball over the top. Kingdon's not going to get there. Glover, not Clover. Mugabe, and that is at full time. It is 2 apiece. 2 apiece. Really? Nedelkov, a 6.1. Really? Andy Mitchell, my head physio, says that Tariq could do with a rest. Who are we playing? We're playing. You can probably have a rest against Watford, because I don't care about the cup competitions. Yeah, you're playing against Oxford, but you're not playing Watford. We are outside of the transfer window, but I have made a new signing. Well, it will be a new signing. Mirko Antonucci is joining in January. I can't remember how much for. It's not a huge amount of money. It's like 400k, I think. 275k. He is joining us. I'm bringing him in. He's right-footed, but he can play in both of these positions naturally, which is really handy because I play both of those positions. It's time for the Oxford game. They're currently sat 7th place in the table. Oh, I've just seen already. I don't know why I've only just seen this, but we are now 3 draws out of 6. We've drawn as many games as we won and lost. Do not be another one of those seasons. The starting lineup that we're going to go for against Oxford is going to be as follows. In goal, Johnny Davison, Steve Simpson, Alfie Jones, Adam Jackson, and Jonathan Panzo as the back four. I've dropped Nedelkov because he's just not very good at the moment. Adam Jackson's also not very good, but hopefully he plays better this time around. Midfield, again, Dak, Kovacic and Chowdhury, Mahoney and Tariq on the wings. Niall Ennis keeps his place as the striker. I might possibly drop my defensive line a bit because we seem to lose a lot of goals because we're so far forward and they're just playing balls between us apparently, behind our defenders, running onto it, scoring a goal. So I'm going to try and stop that. Look at me trying to be all tactical. So then the formation is fairly similar. They're just playing a little triangle in the middle. Ollie Cook is playing for them, former Southampton youth player. Curtis Nelson, decent centre-back as well. Don't recognise any of the strikers, which is probably not a surprise because I don't recognise a lot of footballers nowadays. Second home game of the season against Oxford, and I'd like us to not throw this away. Would be handy. Jackson intercepts the ball. Doyle with the header. That's the first highlight. Why am I commentating it? 20 minutes in, and the first highlight is the only bit of commentary that I've needed to do so far. First proper highlight. Jackson with a free kick to Simpson. Kovacic. Ball over to Tariq. Tariq's got 3 players in the middle. Ennis is one of them. Ennis is lucky, gets the second chance, makes it 1-0, 31 minutes on the clock. And that is something that's going to happen a lot. Ball onto the wings, cross it in low, and then probably Ennis in the middle is going to be scoring the goal. Highlight on 42 minutes, Davison's goal kick towards Ennis. Doesn't win the header, but Kovacic does get the ball to Chowdhury. Across to Dak. Dak's got some options. Ennis is one. He's running through. He's going to have a go, and Niall Ennis makes it 2-0. Niall Ennis is going to be a 30-goal-a-season man, considering we've only played about 5 games, and he's already on 12. Or 13 now. He's on 13 goals. Half-time, and it's looking like a comfortable 2-0 lead, although we've had 2 shots on target, and they've both gone in. Bradley Dack's picked up an injury. We've got a highlight. Jackson on the ball. Once this highlight is over, old Dackers is coming off. Ennis doesn't get there. Tariq does to Ennis. Ennis, he should have scored. He's on a hat-trick and he really should have scored that. Right, pause it. Substitution. Bradley Dack is going to come off for Josh McEachran, I believe. Do I swap those 2 over? No, let's put them back to where they were. Defensively, we're still a little bit shaky, particularly on the left-hand side. Since the substitution, nothing has happened, so what I'm going to do... I'm going to do another substitution. Mahoney's coming off because he's on a 6.4. We're going to bring on Hesketh, maybe. Yeah, bring on Hesketh. Let's bring off Ennis because he's booked for Gracia. And let's go. He's probably a bit annoyed by that because he's on a hat-trick. Let's try and finish this game off. 7 minutes to play. Davison with a goal kick. Gracia doesn't win the header. West forward to Preston. Panzo gets there, but so does Rothwell. West is on the edge of the area. Jones doesn't quite tackle him. Jones does tackle him this time. Georgiou, edge of the area. Davison makes a save. I'm thinking I'm probably going to drop this back to counter. Let's drop it to counter, because maybe we can break and use the pace of Gracia. I don't know whether he's fast. West on the ball. Why is this highlight still going? Treacher. Georgiou's not going to get there. Simpson is. Simpson's played it back to the goalkeeper. That was questionable. Hesketh, ball over the top. Gracia's running onto it. Can he score his first ever goal in football? Yes, he can. 3-0 against Oxford. I can't remember his first name. Is it Martin? Don't know. Gracia with a goal. Great assist from Jake Hesketh. I'm glad the highlight didn't end. And we've got another highlight straight away. Rothwell to Cook. To Curtis Nelson at the back. Kelly. Oh, McEachran gets there. McEachran to Kovacic. Kovacic over the top to Gracia. He's literally just scored. Can he get another? Oh, that is filth. That is absolute filth. Martin Gracia, once again, he scored 2 goals in as many minutes. I think it is as many minutes. I think he scored 2 in 2 minutes. I'm getting very confused by my words here. Gracia's been on the pitch for 15 minutes and scored as many goals as Niall Ennis had in 75. Final highlight of the game. Hesketh's throw to Gracia. That is it. It is all over and a 4-0 win. That's a performance we can all be proud of. Can I say that as a team talk? Calmly, that is a performance we can all be proud of. I'm pleased. Sure. End the team talk. That'll do. Bradley Dack's out for 6 to 8 days. That's not the end of the world. And that win does propel us back up into almost the playoffs. We are 1 goal behind the playoff spot. In 7th place, 3 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat. We don't have anyone on the top goal scorer list, despite the fact that Niall Ennis scores 1 million goals a game. He's got 5 in the league and 6 in the Carabao Cup and 2 in the Checker Trade Trophy. This man's an animal. I said when I signed him that he's got a lot of potential, but I don't think he's near it at the moment. I think he's still got some room to grow. He's only 22. That is going to do it for this episode. Next episode, I think we're going to go for Northampton and Coventry. So, because we're at a new club, we're not going to be flying through the season in the space of a week. We're going to take our time. So we're going to go Northampton, who are 10th. We're going to go Coventry, who are 20th. That should be a very polarising... Oh, I've just realised Russell Kingdon can't play against Coventry, so he's going to have to play against Northampton. I've decided, because he can't even be on the bench against Coventry. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2018 with Blackburn Rovers in my now what is a journeyman save. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.